is party time, Mom. Welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show. It is Wednesday, hump day, and we're in the Mothership Studio 22, the Puppet Master Mark. Let's love Brandon at the helm. Ooh, driving us, directing us into the nether regions of all things insanity, where we will upload the information you need on this Wednesday. Maybe, I don't know, maybe, we'll see. The news you can use and then lose. Let me go over here to the calendar real quick because I got a couple of announcements I need to make to you. They hate when I do this, but I don't care. Lexington, Kentucky. I'm going to be there Friday night, Manchester Music Hall, and then we're headed to Amarillo and Abilene. Now, I got a message this morning saying that there was only like 4 seats left in Abilene and standing room only left in Amarillo. So you get on it. Go check it out. I went to the Amarillo website, the ticket link, and it looks like there's still some seats there. So go check it out. You can go to chadpratherlive.com. And then, of course, we are kicking off the Buck Wild Comedy Tour, Joplin, Missouri, on the 27th. You can likewise get tickets there at my site. And then myself, and I will be Fort Wayne, Indiana on February 3rd, and then the Waco Hippodrome and on the 10th of February, and then the 11th of February, Justin, Texas. The big town of Justin, Texas. Going to be over at the Mule Barn. Brandon, you know you've made it in the entertainment business when you're playing a place called the Mule Barn, but that's a fantastic little venue over there.
I'll be honest, I didn't even know Justin, Texas was a place.
You didn't know it was a place?
No.
That's where Justin comes from, Justin the Boots and all that stuff. Yeah, Justin, Texas. It's just north of Fort Worth. Pretty cool spot. And I almost got my ass kicked in there one night. I was over there years ago. I was at a fundraiser, and I was emceeing a fundraiser, and this drunk guy wanted to. Well, what happened was his wife or girlfriend, I don't know which, wanted to take a picture with me. And he wasn't down with that. Let me tell you what I do. Whenever people do like a meet and greet or whatever, and a couple walks up to me, and every now and then I'll have the guy who'll go, "She really wants to meet you." This kind of stuff. Are like, oh well, she's like, "Oh, you're the one. You're on my list or whatever," which is always weird when somebody says that to me, especially with their husband standing there. I've always made it a habit. I reach out and shake the man's hand first. I make sure that I do that because I never want a guy to think I'm disrespecting him when his woman's acting womanly. It's just a good way not to get stabbed. So I always try to do that. But yeah, Justin Mule Barn, I almost got my ass kicked there. That's probably about 6-7 years ago. I was like, yep, I'm in trouble. But that's what happens when people add alcohol. But I'm going to be in all these places. And then the Buck Wild Comedy Tour kicks off. The tickets for Birmingham, Alabama, 2 nights. I think that's February 24th and 25th. Again, I'm going back to the calendar. Yep. February 24th, 25th. I'm going to be there. Tomball, Texas on the 17th. That's all Buck Wild. So that's me. It's going to be Dustin Sims, Zach Rushing, Jesse Payton. And then I'm going to San Antonio. We're bouncing all over. We got dates coming: Augusta, Georgia, Jacksonville, Florida, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So go get them. I told you guys, not my resolution, my realization is asses in the seats this year. We want people having a good time. I want things back to normal because COVID shut everything down. It hit the service industry hard, the restaurant industry hard, certainly hit the entertainment industry very hard. And here we are in 2023, and I talked to my booking agent, and he said, things are still slow. A lot of these venues still slow to pick back up on their booking. I don't know. They're just scared of some things. But I'll tell you what did happen to me, boys. My buddy Jesse Payton, his 1,000th career comedy show. Of course, he's part of our Buck Wild shows, but his 1,000th career show is this week. It's Thursday night at the Houston Improv. I was going to go open for him. I was going to go do 15 minutes and just do an opener and kind of host the deal, introduce him. The manager for the Houston Improv, which I've done many times, said, "Chad Prather is not welcome here." Chad, when you're pissing off the comedy clubs to the point where they won't let you in, where the clubs themselves are censoring you, this is where we are. So I told Jesse, I said, ask him what the deal is. And he said, never answered. And I said, no, seriously, I want to know what his issue is. And Jesse said, well, here's his email address. I said, well, I've got his email address. So I emailed him. And I said, I ran for governor for 2 years in the state of Texas. Please tell me what it is you think you know that the rest of the world doesn't know about me, that you would bar me from coming in and just doing 15 minutes to introduce my friend to make sure his show is successful at your venue. And he never responded to me, but he emailed Jesse and he said, quote, I don't need this shit. So I want Jesse to have a successful show, which I think it's sold out. As of yesterday, we only had 10 tickets left. So after that, then I think we just start really giving the Houston Improv a bad name. But that dude, he's booked me not only at the Houston Improv, but at the Addison Improv over here in North Dallas as well. So who knows? Maybe I pissed somebody off somehow. It wouldn't be the first time.
I mean, it's kind of difficult to run a comedy shop when you are blacklisting comedians. Yeah, who sell tickets.
Who fill your freaking room up.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I've never done it. Anytime I've done the Improv, it's always been a full room. And so I never know. Who knows what pissed in his Cheerios? I don't know. But that's the world we're living in these days. And so I keep telling people, the reason I bring all this stuff up about doing the live shows, it's important because not only is it an economy driver, but it helps, keep live entertainment alive. And it gets people back out socializing again. And that's an important thing because we've gotten ourselves so cloistered off. Like I go to a church on Sunday mornings and they spend, a lot of times they'll talk to the camera, right? Because they know there's people watching at home, which is a great service. If you're shut in, people can live stream it. They can get on and they can watch the Facebook stream or whatever. But some people have gotten to where they depend on that. And that's unfortunate, in my opinion. Again, I think you need to be around people. You need to socialize. And some people say, well, I'm not very social. Well, I'm not very quiet, but sometimes I make myself be something I'm not. Right? Sometimes it's good to be quiet, even if you're not naturally quiet. So if you're a naturally quiet person, sometimes you need to choose to be loud. And if you're antisocial, sometimes it's good to socialize. And it's not for what you're going to get out of it, it's what you can invest. And so I try to tell people, I say, it's impossible. It's impossible to go, entertain an empty room. And so I encourage people to get out there and let's make things normal again. That's why I'm 100%. This is the only reason why I'm 100% against this concept, this notion of dry January. Screw that. I don't believe in that at all. My girlfriend, her entire family, they said we're going to do dry January, and now here we are at the 11th of January, and now it's become damp January for them. As of this past Sunday, their January got very damp. But I don't believe in it. And one of the reasons I don't believe in it is because why do we want to punish these people who go out and work hard to make a living, tending bar, working in the service industry, restaurants? And you think I'm kidding about that, but I went up to a nice restaurant in Frisco that I like to go to every now and then, D. Lincoln Prime. They got a great happy hour, got a great menu. And I went up there last week, sat down at the bar. There was only 3 of us at the bar. It was crazy. If I hadn't brought a couple of people with me, the place would have been empty. And I was like, you know what? It's both the holidays and it's stupid dry January. That's the whole deal. So you get out there and get your drunk on, okay? Get your drunk on. But I tell you, the comedy thing is almost dead in the water in a big way because people are so sensitive. I think it's when people started getting drunk off of soy milk is when the whole thing just went south. So, I'm encouraging people, get out there, go do it, tell your friends. If it's not in a city near you, call friends that are in that area. And people say, well, if you just come closer. I'm like, I'm literally going to be in a city 100 miles from you. I'm traveling 1,600 miles to get there. Get in the car and drive. Get a hotel, spend the night. I stayed in a hotel last night. I may have herpes now. I stayed. This place was horrible. I haven't stayed in a hotel this cheap in 20 years. Maybe. This was horrible. So anyway, get you one of those cheap little hotel rooms and live adventurously. Let me tell you, update on my campaign against, what did we say? I said if I'd raise enough money, I'd run against Dan Crenshaw. To date, to the moment, actually, we've raised $1. $1 has come in to my Venmo account, and I don't even know if that's why it came in, but I want to give a big shout out here. This goes to This goes to Jim Walker. Jim Walker, everybody, come on. There it is, Jim Walker, $1. Thank you. And I mean $1 even too. So we are absolutely on the way to primarying whoever we want to primary. In this case, maybe Dan Crenshaw. Who knows? Stacey Abrams, speaking of somebody that needs to just go away, Stacey Abrams was on the Drew Barrymore show. I don't know what Drew Barrymore calls her show. Is it Drew? She had some things to say about her political future. Play that clip.
So what's next? Are you going to run again? Are you going? Do we get to look forward to this and galvanize again?
I will likely run again.
Yeah!
I don't know
Yes! Oh my God. So are you going to go up against some tough men who kind of don't always play fair?
Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And if it doesn't work, you try again.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot on that clip to unpack. Let's start with all the peons in the audience who have to wear masks, matching masks, which means they handed those out at the door. And I love how it's a good, solid Ukraine yellow there. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. But probably zero correlation there, but that's what stands out to me. These ladies got all fixed up to go on national television, be a part of a studio audience, and they masked half of their face. Makes a lot of sense. And, of course, Stacey Abrams, if you'll remember, of that iconic picture of her great, her great altruistic moment of storytelling and reading to the kindergartners, that picture that emerged last year when she was sitting in the middle of the classroom, crisscross applesauce, and all the kids were masked up, but she was not. No, her big solid gap tooth was just staring right at you in the middle of the picture. So again, the hypocrisy continues. But these big bad men who don't play fair,
yeah,
that's what Drew had to say about these, the patriarchy that tends to run things. And why was she so damn excited at the idea that Stacey Abrams was going to run again?
She was thrilled.
What are you excited about?
I don't know. But has anyone turned losing into a bigger career than Stacey Abrams?
Beto O'Rourke.
The fact that they're still like, hey,
arguably Beto O'Rourke. But yeah, Stacey Abrams. Now, there's some people who have turned being losers, like Eric Swalwell. Even though he gets elected, he's still a loser. They've turned that into a big career. But Stacey, Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, those guys come to mind. Mitt Romney, Dan Crenshaw. But Stacey Abrams here, I if you were to ask Drew Barrymore, I would love to ask her, which of Stacey Abrams' policies stands out to you as the most poignant and significant as to why she should run for a third time to be governor in the state of Georgia? I would love to hear her wax eloquent on her socio-political philosophies and hear what Drew Barrymore has to say in regards to that. If you're that ecstatic, if you're orgasmic even over the possibility that in 4 years Stacey Abrams is going to run for governor again, I would like to know why. I want to have some of what you're having because I don't get it. But again, you got to pander to the left. I promise you, first of all, Drew Barrymore would never have Ted Cruz on a show. She'd never have, let's keep it in Georgia. She'd never have the governor, Brian Kemp, on her show. And she wouldn't get excited about that because these are big, mean men who don't play fair. That's the world we're living in, playing fair. Oh, so wild and crazy out there. Be careful, folks. You have heard me talk about the amazing extreme altitude wines from Bonner Private Wine Partnership before. I just had a bottle of their 9,000-foot Malbec the other night with dinner. The 9,000 foot doesn't mean that's how big the bottle is. That's where it comes from, 9,000 feet in the air. It's a high-altitude wine. And here we are. In my house, it's always grilling season, and the flavors of this Malbec go great with any meat you're going to have. And this is unlike any wine you've ever tasted. You got hints of blackberry, leather, smoke, a little dark cherry. It is a delicious wine, and these wines are almost impossible to get on your own because the producers are deep in the Andes Mountains and they make a very limited quantity. So I've got an amazing offer for you that I have never had before. I want you to visit BonnerPrivateWines.com/Chad. And you'll not only get wine for over 50% off plus free shipping, you'll also get a bonus bottle of small batch limited production wine from their exclusive wine cellar. So that's 4 bottles for the price of 3. It's a deal that's hard to turn down if you're a wine lover like myself. Just visit BonnerPrivateWines.com/Chad. Claim your bonus bottle. Become part of America's most unique wine club. That's BonnerPrivateWines.com/Chad and get your wine today. We'll be right back. While we're talking about me, let's bring on Sara Gonzales. Welcome to the show.
Chad Prather, expert.
She hasn't been sitting here the whole time, and I've just ignored her. She just wandered in.
I just came in.
Like a homeless person that came in from the cold.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which it is very cold in the building.
Is it?
Yeah. That's why I have my sweater on.
You look fantastic, Sara.
Well,
you always do.
You, Chad.
Let me just tell you what they're saying in the live chat.
Oh.
Yeah. Sarah's never had a bad day in her life. Ever. I found an incredible restaurant based off of just one piece of meat. It's called Killen's Steakhouse in the Woodlands, Texas.
Okay.
I've passed it many times. It's 2 miles from my house.
Killen's?
Killen's, Killens.
Okay.
So Killen's originated in Pearland, Texas, with Killen's Steakhouse and also Killen's Barbecue. They brought both iterations up to the Woodlands.
Okay.
And I went in the other night and took a couple gals in, and one of them was 7 years old, but with her mother.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, went in there. And they had an Australian Wagyu filet that was like eating pudding. I mean, it would just melt in your mouth. So good. The rest of the food, it's fine.
You're making me hungry.
It was so good. I can't stop thinking about it. I cannot stop thinking about it. And it's not packed. It's not loud. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to be like that pimp that sits there at the bar, happy hour every day. Just my booze and my steak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Picking up chicks.
Okay, next time I get down there, you're going to have to take me.
Come on.
Okay.
It's really good. That steak is really, really good. No, when you come down, I'm taking you to Tris.
Okay.
My buddy Austin Simmons is the chef there at Tris. They wanted him in Chicago, New York, L.A., and he said, nope, I love Texas. I like to hunt. I like to fish. I like to play golf. I like living in the Woodlands. And so he's got right there at the waterway in the Woodlands, Tris, T-R-I-S.
Okay.
Go in there. I see Dinesh D'Souza and his wife Debbie in there all the time.
Funny.
And Dinesh is funny because he goes in the parking deck and then they've got a special walkway. That's a secret entrance into the building, so he doesn't have to go by the riffraff.
Oh, he doesn't want to pass the peasants.
Yeah. Does it do
the peasants like us?
I like being with the peasants.
That's us. That's our people. We are the peasants.
I'm the peasant, right? And every time I see Dinesh, I'm like, hey, Dinesh. And Debbie's like, oh, hey. And he's like, who's that again? It's not quite that bad, but
that's funny.
I may still be hungover from that national championship game. I don't know.
I would imagine.
I drank a lot of tequila that night.
A lot of celebration.
A lot. So I shot a text message over to, I'm going to name drop, to my buddy Chip Roy. Oh. And Chip, if you play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if you play number 6 clip there, just play it.
Let's remember that a little temporary conflict is necessary in this town in order to stop this town from rolling over the American people. I don't think anybody on either side of the aisle could say with a straight face that they think that Washington is doing good work for the American people on a regular basis and isn't broken. We have to work to fix this place. And look, some of the tensions you saw on display when we saw some of the the interactions there between Mike Rogers and Matt Gaetz. Some of that is, we need a little of that. We need a little of this sort of breaking the glass in order to get us to the table, in order to fight for the American people and to change the way this place is dysfunctional.
Yeah, I want people getting bludgeoned with a walking cane. Let's take it back to the 1800s, man.
Yeah, take it all the way back.
And I've told you guys before, Andrew Jackson, before he was president, of course, he was a substitute. He was a second in over 100 duels. They weren't even his fights. He just showed up for his buddy because his buddy couldn't make it to the fight. That's back when men were men and a little stupid. But again,
well, y'all are still a little stupid.
Let's take it back to leather gloves where we slap you in the face and say pistols at dawn. I'm here for that. People will get far less offended by things.
Well, I mean, I think this goes back to earlier in the week when you were on my show, and Chip Roy is echoing exactly what we said, which is a conflict in Washington is actually healthy. Like,
Good.
That's what you want.
Well, let's look at all the things, because we didn't really talk about this week. We did on your show, but let's look at the things that they accomplished, okay? So now you can vote on term limits, 72 hours to read a bill. You can't pack it full of pork. These bills, where you're cramming all this minutia in there that nobody knows, We don't need to be paying for scuba lessons in Pakistan. And then we literally did that. I mean, that was crap.
And that's not even the most ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I mean, transgender studies in the Sudan.
Right.
I mean, this kind of stuff that's going on. And we're paying for it. I mean, my God, we're getting fleeced. They talk, because the Freedom Caucus, one of the things is they're talking about abolishing the IRS.
Yeah.
Bringing things down to a consumer tax. I say, hell yeah. A consumption-based tax, a consumption-based tax, which is something I think I ran on that here in the state of Texas. So this is the kind of thing, like you guys put me in Congress when the time comes, when y'all are ready to raise the money. You guys put me in Congress. You want more Chip Roys, you want more Matt Gaetz, I'll be that guy. I promise you I'll be that guy. I will be a thorn in their side.
If anyone has watched you for more than 5 minutes, I think that they know that you will be that guy.
Yeah. We'll be that person.
It's very easy to tell who you're dealing with.
I'll be that person.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. And I can keep a show on the Blaze.
Right.
It's fantastic. It works. Ted Cruz has a podcast.
It's true.
Called Ben Ferguson. I need to talk to Ben Ferguson.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I got some things I need to say to Ben Ferguson.
Okay. I was just texting with him earlier today.
Ben does the podcast with Ted. I need to talk to Ben.
Okay.
We got to take this. We got to next level this shit. I don't even know what that means. we got to talk about some things going on in Washington D.C. No, I've always been one of those guys who I'm Texas first. Texas first. Texas first. Texas first. I didn't want anything to do with Washington, D.C., but after watching this stuff go on, I'm like, maybe we do need to get back to Washington, D.C., and we need some voices that remind them that Texas is here and Texas matters. Eric July brought it up on your show about if anybody needs to swing their ball sack around, it needs to be Texas right now when it comes to Washington, D.C.
Right. Well, I think you can do both at the same time.
I think you can. I think Chip Roy's doing a good job of that.
Yep.
These other guys aren't, they're just not.
Well, and notice the other guys who aren't, like Dan Crenshaw and some others, got their committee head status taken away.
Yeah. A lot of these folks did.
Yep.
I say keep hammering them.
I know.
Keep hammering.
Let them see the consequences of their own actions.
A number of folks on the squad lost their committees. Knocked Nancy Pelosi's ass off of there, too.
Has Crenshaw officially applied for a squad position yet? Or does he just automatically get
He's trying on the turban.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll be the gay friend.
Yeah, I mean... There's not a lot of difference between them these days.
There's so many things I want to say right now. I can't. Just about nothing. Never mind. But look, we're in trouble. But I love what's happening. Like I see good things here, all because of those 20 that stood up to the rest of the crowd. Because otherwise, you're just stuck with the uniparty.
Right.
With their little secret handshake and jumping in the same limo after work and heading to the steakhouse. And, it's like professional wrestlers. They duke it out. And then John Boehner cries when they unveil Nancy Pelosi's portrait. I'd cry too.
Well, I was on with Steve Deace for their special, Christmas episode where they look back at the year, and we were supposed to go through and say, give a ranking for all of these different categories. And one of them was best political theater. And I said, I would say John Boehner crying about Nancy Pelosi retiring, but I don't actually think that was political theater. I think that those were actual real emotions.
They were real tears.
Which is the problem.
And he's like, oh, my daughters just really admire her. And by the way, my daughters are Democrats.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you failed.
Exactly.
You didn't beat that ass. Bottom line, you didn't beat that ass. My kids don't touch my thermostat, and they'll never vote Democrat because I beat that ass. That's right.
Now I have that song in my head.
Yeah, you haven't beat that ass. You can get that on a little album I named Y'all Shut Up. How about that? I'll sing it for you in Lexington, Kentucky Friday night if you'll show up. That's a good question. Steve Dace, the thing about that dude is he never has me on his show. It's amazing how that works. He'll have me on his overtime or some of that bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't know. These guys.
Yeah, it's usually overtime for me. This was just like a special Christmas edition or whatever.
You know who else never has me on her show?
Who?
Allie.
Really?
Allie Stuckey.
Huh.
She's never been interested in my systematic theology. Sure hasn't.
Huh.
No. It's amazing. It's amazing how these people from all these other places like, Newsmax and all, they clamor for my attention. They want me on. Eric Bowling wants me on every week. Not around here, though. Not around here.
Are you saying you're underappreciated?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Pinpointed. They're afraid of what I'm going to say, which I did cuss on your show Monday.
Yeah, I was going to say, I am constantly asking you to be on my show.
But,
so.
And I am. I mean, I technically think that's my show at this point, at least one day a week. At least one day a week.
Okay.
I had to use a swear jar, but you know what? I haven't cussed on your show in at least a year and a half.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, sometimes it's warranted. When it's warranted, it's warranted.
Yeah.
And all I hear from people on that is, look, management doesn't want us cursing on my show. But for the most part, people are like, you're saying what we're feeling, and we feel that passion too. And so they feel it with you when you say that.
Everybody that watches this show, with the exception of a handful of people that are in my life, my family, or whatever. Everybody on here, y'all love it when I get pissed off.
Right.
Y'all love it when I get fired up.
Right. Because they know that we say what we mean and we mean what we say.
Yeah. So anyway.
We're not the stuffy talking heads over at CNN.
Hair loss sucks, and it can be tough. And if you're looking at your pictures or you go into the barbershop, I know I always sit down at the barbershop and I got my little dad joke. It's like, if you could put some more on it, sweep some off the floor and put some hair on there. Anyway, I wear hats all the time anyway. But you could do something about it. Don't shave your hair off. Don't go bald like Jason Buttrill. Use Keeps. Keeps has clinically proven, FDA-approved hair loss treatments available online. And whether you're looking to prevent hair loss or stimulate hair growth or just take better care of the hair you have Keeps medical providers who will help you find the right products and develop a personalized hair-saving routine that works for you. It's very easy, no waiting rooms, no pharmacy visits. Keeps is delivered straight to your door at about half the cost of a traditional pharmacy. Half the cost, folks. And if you have questions, you can message your Keeps provider 24/7. So if you're looking to take action, join thousands of guys who have saved their hair with Keeps. Visit keeps.com/loss. They'll give you 50% off your first order. That's KEEPS.com/loss. Keeps.com/loss. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Every once in a while I've got the dubious honor of bringing before you, a tale, a story that is not only apt to tickle your ears with transcendental enlightenment, but might also turn your stomach at the same time. Some people just want to watch the world burn. Others just want to roam around on the skin of this old world, harming children in myriad and often sexual ways. It's disgusting. Now, to be honest, I prefer the company of the former sociopath. Thank you very much. In the case of the latter, let's examine the current situation of someone named Brandy Wood of the great state of Connecticut. Wood's aliases include, they include Kyle Bailey, Stephen Bennett, Kunani Brady Moanam, and Kalakaua, however you want to say it, Wood. Yeah, the dude, yes, I said dude, has gone undercover a lot, and he's had to because this piece of human just absolutely direct preys on children. And praise God from whom all blessings flow. He's been caught and is now going to be in prison for a painfully short amount of time, which we'll talk about later. First, there's the little matter that this guy has rightfully been jugged in a male prison ever since he got caught and now wants to be transferred to a women's prison because, of course, he identifies as a woman. Of course. Now, more specifically and ridiculously, he identifies as an intersex female. Now, if you're confused about that term, let me read to you the definition as laid out by the Intersex Society of North America. Intersex is a general term used for a variety of conditions in which a person is born with a reproductive or sexual anatomy that doesn't seem to fit the typical definitions of female or male. For example, a person might be born appearing to be a female on the outside but having mostly male typical anatomy on the inside, or a person may be born with genitals that seem to be in between the usual male and female types. For example, a girl may be born with a noticeably large clitoris or lacking a vaginal opening, or a boy may be born with a noticeably small penis or with a scrotum that is divided so that it has formed more like a labia. Oh boy. Or a person may be born with mosaic genetics so that some of her cells have XX chromosomes and some of them have XY. God, how bad would it be to be labeled having a noticeably small penis? I don't want to be labeled as that. So let's get this straight. This dude who has made a hobby out of stalking girls, actual girls, by the way, online, and then going after them sexually, now wants to be put in a female prison? I've got the perfect solution to this. I say, let him do it. Let him transfer to the women's prison. But because we're so hot and heavy for equity in this country, you're going to have to even the odds out a little bit. You can't give the female prisoners guns to protect themselves with. But let's not go crazy. But how about, say, a bunch of broomsticks and pocket knives to whittle with? Let them do the rest. And if you tell them who the fresh fish coming down the line really is, well, you have yourself one less kid diddler in the world, and we all go to sleep a little bit easier. Look, there's always going to be complexity surrounding this issue, but I think anyone sane can agree that someone like this doesn't belong in a women's prison. Oh, and by the way, remember how I said Shim here was getting a ridiculously short sentence for his crimes? 30 months, less than 3 years, my friends. If that doesn't bother you, it really, really should.
Amen.
We've got realwomensclub.com. Mm-hmm. Go there, use RWC20, get 20% off. But we model those shirts says real women don't have balls, mm-hmm. and real women aren't men, yep. and things like that. And say, oh, you guys are just a bunch of bigots. These people have never harmed anybody. Well,
I beg to differ.
Mm-hmm. They actually have. Mm-hmm. So. And here's what it harms. And this is the very low end of the thing. We're not even talking about the violent stuff or the the athletic stuff that's harming, but just the sheer fact that it takes away from true femininity.
Correct.
Women are the ones getting the shaft.
Yeah,
so to speak.
Or they have the shaft these days. We don't know.
Or a noticeably small penis. I mean, it's not a shaft, not a log. I don't have a log.
It is really sad too, because for all the talk from the left for so many years about the war on women and the patriarchy, I mean, this is it.
Yeah.
Right here. This is the patriarchy. This is the war on women. They are literally trying to erase us and replace us with actual men with dicks.
And the same vagina hat screaming Riri's out in the street are the ones who are the loudest online barking about, you're a bunch of bigots. Yep. No, we're actually fighting for women's rights.
Right. This is the real fight.
Yeah. You guys were worried about men wearing flannel shirts and cutting wood and mansplaining things to you, which, by the way, ladies, mansplaining is when a man condescendingly tells you what something means.
Or manspreading, right? Women were oppressed because people like Chad Prather over here.
I don't have a clue what you're talking about. Not a clue.
Boy, that is a flexible manspread.
You know what?
That's what we call that.
It's not a noticeably small penis. That's what that's not. That is a gigantic sack. They call that a scrotum, if you didn't know. And it is full of balls.
Okay.
Full of balls.
Wait, how many balls?
2.
Okay.
But
full of balls.
It's not about quantity. It's about the mass.
Right.
These are big balls, Sarah. These are juggalugs.
Okay.
Trust me when I tell you, they slap the right places. From any angle. And the older I get, the further they reach.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do they dip in the toilet?
Right in the water. Bloop, bloop. And I've learned just to let them sit there and swish around. Yeah. I'm good with it. Lost all feeling down there anyway. But hey, here's the thing.
This just took a turn.
We really are fighting for women.
Yes.
We're fighting for women. And if you're offended by that, so be it. If you're offended by us making jokes about, femininity or masculinity, so be it. If you're that, look, men are always going to be men. Mm-hmm. Men are always going to be men. It's the difference between testosterone and estrogen. We don't have to explain this to you. Mm-hmm. The older we get, men, we get a little more estrogen in our system. And that's what gives us the little rotund bellies. That's why we cry a little bit, We get a little more sappy. We get a little more sentimental. I'm telling you, man, my dad, he was tough. And older he got, man, he cried like that. He was a hard dude, man. But the older he got, he was so sensitive to things, especially you start having those grandbabies and stuff like that. And what's the Gary Allen song, Big Babies, where he talks about, tough men turn into big babies again over their kids.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
And it's like, that's the thing. And older you get, you start giving 0 Fs, right? What anybody thinks about you. Because we're used to going out of the cave, hunting something, club it over the head, and then drag it back, build a fire, and eat the damn thing.
Yeah.
And then the older we get softer, and we hope for young men to come along and do that too. And so there are people, though, that are offended by that.
I mean, there are people, though, that are offended by everything.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, who cares?
Yeah.
Look, it's not even, we can talk about offended all day long, but the fact of the matter is that, as Ben Shapiro once famously said, or many times famously said, facts don't care about your feelings. The fact is, men are men and women are women. No feeling is going to change that. So you might as well continue speaking the truth.
Yeah, and I don't see a lot of women going out there doing a lot of those dirty jobs.
No.
It's like Andrew Schwartz said, women played the long game, man. They didn't want equality until there was air conditioning in the office buildings.
Right.
They were like, equality.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
That's when they wanted a 401k. But again, we've talked about this ad nauseum of how society now, culture now, big government now has forced us where both the man and the woman have to go get jobs. They got to go out there because everything's so expensive, and we bought into this lie that you got to have all this stuff. That's another thing. The older I get, I want to simplify.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm not, but I do want to. Like I find myself looking at these little cabins in the woods, going, yeah, I could deal with that.
He does too, and he threatens. He's like, "I'm gonna get this cabin, and no one will ever hear from me again."
Do you know how tempting it is to move to someplace in Mexico? Just poof, I'm gone. I could do it. Just gone. Just live off of mailbox money for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Open up some tourist, scuba diving tourism
Yeah,
business
take
or
people
something.
on a glass bottom boat.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be in the water. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Blumpkins are extra.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
They do love when you talk about the Blumpkins.
They do, man. And for those of you ladies who don't know what a Blumpkin is, it's a blowjob while you take a dump, okay? This episode of Mansplaining is brought to you by, hey, it's time to make your health great again. As we get closer to, as we move into the new year. For anyone looking to ignite your fat-burning metabolism and boost your energy, transform how you look and feel, start taking care of your liver. Your liver is your body's master detoxifier. Performs over 500 key functions in your body every day. It's responsible for cleaning and removing thousands of harmful toxins, man-made chemicals, alcohol, dangerous food additives, preservatives, and after decades of wear and tear, our livers slow down and become sluggish. That's why so many of us struggle with weight gain and feel tired all the time. But I got a simple, all-natural solution that's absolutely recommended. It's called Liver Health Formula. Liver Health Formula contains 12 powerful botanicals clinically proven to recharge and protect your liver at the cellular level. It helps restore your liver's detoxifying abilities, boost your energy levels, and can kick your natural metabolism into high gear. It also works remarkably well to fight fatty liver, which is a silent epidemic affecting millions of Americans. Liver Health Formula is backed by the latest science. It's approved by American doctors. Every bottle is manufactured right here in America. Right now, as a part of my audience, you could try it not only completely risk-free, but you'll receive 5 free gifts when you order today. You're going to get 30-day supply of the nano-powered omega-3. It's a powerful blend of omega-3 fatty acids. It's going to support a healthy heart and brain, 4 times better absorption thanks to the nano delivery system. You're going to get 4 free ebooks to support every aspect of your health and longevity. Go to getliverhelp.com/Chad. Get the risk-free supply of Liver Health Formula and all the 5 bonus gifts, and you're going to be covered by the 365-day money-back guarantee, so you got nothing to risk. GetLiverHelp.com/Chad. You can call them up, talk to them, 800-282-1757. We'll be right back. Yeah. Oh, well. What are we talking about? What did I say?
This is your show.
I don't even know what I was saying at this point.
Well, I mean,
you got me talking about my boy Terrence Williams.
Yeah.
During a break. Cousin T's pancake batter.
I had no idea he did that. That is
well,
so
we were talking
funny.
during the break about how all these, quote, influencers make money.
Yeah.
You know, Terrence goes out and does live shows. And I'm telling you, I got 3 million followers on social media. If everybody'd send me $1, I will go to Mexico.
His Venmo is Chad Prather 22.
Yeah, 22. Chad Prather 22. If everybody send me $1, I'm out. I will end the Smug Club right now. I will end it.
Okay, so hold on.
Ooh, my pussy itches.
So, wow. This just got really weird.
Well,
again.
I'm a woman now.
So, no, hold on.
There's got to be some money in that grift.
So,
right?
But hold on, because you may be onto something here. I wonder if not your followers don't want to give you, your fans don't want to give you money so that you quit. They want you to keep going.
I don't know that they do. I think
but they're
there's
your
more
fans.
people. I think there's more people that want me to shut up.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. So tell your haters to all give you $1, and then you might go away, and then they'll send it to you.
There's 3 of you I'm going to sue. We don't know which ones yet.
Well.
Yeah. There's one particular lawsuit that's going to happen in Arizona at the worst possible time for that person.
I would say well-deserved.
Yeah. But anyway, enough about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about the very last clip that you got there, because people love to come at me and they say, "Oh, you keep talking about these people who died suddenly." Why don't you play the Peter McCullough clip, the very last one?
Lead investigator, Dr. Flavio Catagiani from Brasilia, Brazil. I just interviewed him on the McCullough report. He believes it's perfectly consistent with the hypothesis that the vaccine sets up the heart inflammation, which can be very subtle. In fact, some of it can have no symptoms whatsoever. And then it's the big surge of adrenaline during a soccer game or during a basketball game, during sports, that's triggering these deaths. And boy, that theory fits. And he has a paper out in the preprint server system outlining how that really happens. And now, today, it's on my Twitter feed. There's a school physician office that said that no child will play until they have blood tests to see if they have heart inflammation. So now the vaccine is creating extra medical procedures, even for clearance before athletics. And now 3 countries, certainly in Canada, Hospital for Sick Children, the UK, as well as Australia, the governmental authorities have issued guidelines for doctors, largely cardiologists like myself, to follow for screening, detection, and management of vaccine-induced myocarditis. It's as if this heart damage occurring with the vaccines is now becoming a normal part of medical life for cardiologists.
It's a good dude right there.
Yeah.
I got fingerprints. You got fingerprints. We don't have the same fingerprints.
Right.
I don't know if you know this or not. We don't have the same blood type. Mm-hmm. Even if we have the same blood type, we still don't really have the same blood. We got different things going on in there, right? So this idea that one medical treatment is universally going to help 8 billion people on the planet is absolutely ludicrous. I'm not trying to show you these things or even post the clips or post the articles on social media to scare you, but I do want you to be aware, right? And I don't think that across the board, if somebody got the vaccine, that they're just automatically going to just drop dead, right? Yeah. But you never know what else in combination is going to happen. I mean, what else is going on in your body that you don't know about? There's things happening in your body you don't know. There may be things happening that you have no clue about, haven't been revealed yet. And now suddenly that you're going to have an interaction that you did not expect. Mm. All because of these, big science, big pharma, big medical, big government have all said you got to have this medical treatment. So I want you to be aware of this thing. I encourage people. There's some detoxes out there that, whatever. But I just keep encouraging people. My conviction is it's not so much the vaccine as much as it is the boosters. People are loading themselves up with these things.
I mean,
now the vaccine's bad, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But you keep exacerbating the problem.
Right. But I mean, I would say, this has been our whole point was there's absolutely no way anyone who tells you this is safe and effective is lying to you, just because there is literally no way for them to know that yet.
That's right.
So the fact that they are pushing that language on the American public, trying to mandate it, trying to get rid of a control group.
Yeah.
Right? You have to ask yourself why. Why would you do that? Because realistically speaking, there's absolutely no way that you can tell me that it is safe and effective at this point in the game. You have to at least be honest with people. You're going to be a guinea pig.
Yeah.
Right? You are the guinea pig. You are the study. So you decide, weigh a cost-benefit analysis, and if you are super at risk for, this particular virus and you think it makes sense for you to take the risk, then do that. But at least let people know what they're dealing with.
Yeah. Is fair point. Hey, look at this bottle right here. This bottle of 1792 small batch bourbon. We drink this years ago. We drank this bottle right on down. I mean, boom, we knocked that thing out first day. So this is not bourbon in this bottle.
Well, what is it?
Well, that's the question. See, that's the question. So for the purpose of having something on set that had color in it, Mark's wife, Candice, she put, I think, water and Coke in here and mixed them together. Now, I don't know that. I'm just saying I wouldn't drink this.
Right.
It's probably safe enough. It would probably be disgusting.
Yeah.
It's been sitting there for 2.5 years. I don't know what this is to put it in my body. Maybe it's safe.
We're talking about drinking it. How about injecting it?
Exactly. So if I'm not blindly just going to just turn this up and try it, you say, oh, no, you need water. I mean, there's water in that. You need the water.
Right.
Oh, I'm not going to do it. So now you're going to put something in a syringe and stick it in me?
Right.
I'm not sure what that is. You people have been real gullible. Hang tight. We'll be right back. I'm gonna go get on that airplane Friday morning. I'm gonna fly to Lexington, Kentucky, get in a rental car and go across town. Manchester Music Hall. That's the spot. I love people who, I've been to Manchester Music Hall. It's not a sit down venue. Well, it is Friday night. It is Friday night. Just come to the show and find out. We got room for you. Come on in there. It's going to be a fun night. People always say, what kind of show is it? I'll know when I stand on stage, when I get up there.
That's how Chad lives his life.
That's how, when I get there, that's when we're going to figure it out. And you're going to have a blast. I promise you, we're going to have fun. But anyway, I want to encourage you to go get BlazeTV. It comes in a discreet, unmarked package. BlazeTV.com/Chad. Use promo code Chad. Don't want you to miss overtime this week. We'll see you tomorrow. Love you. God bless you. Bye.